Hello everybody and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation and another book review. This video is on 2007 Han King's novel The Vegetarian. It was translated from Korean by Deborah Smith in 2010, the founder of Tilted Axis Press, a not-for-profit focused on contemporary Asian fiction translation into English. This novel is told in 3 parts. The first, The Vegetarian, was inspired by 1997 Han King's short story called The Fruit of My Woman, and is told from the perspective of protagonist Yong Hee's husband, Mr. Cheol. The second part, Mongolian Mark, is narrated in the third person past, and it focuses on Yong Yee's sister's husband. The third part of this is called Flaming Trees and focuses on Yong Hee's sister In Hee and is told in third person present. Brief interludes in the first chapter are from Yong Hee's perspective, but outside of this, the entire book, which is basically her story, is expanded on and told by third parties. Yong Hee, the protagonist, is in every way described as unremarkable, and her husband married her due to this conventionality. And for 5 years, Yong Hee maintains this meek, obedient persona until a dream leads her to stop eating meat. This is just the beginning of a descent for Yong Hee, and the 3 vinaigrettes show the effect that this decision has on her husband, who eventually initiates divorce proceedings, and her family, particularly her sister. Author Han Kang has stated that she wanted to explore violence and the extreme turning away from this. Yong Hee represents the character turning away from extreme violence. While remarkably thrifty at 188 pages, or essentially what this breaks down to as 3 parts of 60-page sections, due to these sectionals and the story shifting from first person present to third person past to third person present, this can be rather jarring, especially as the focus is on a different character in each section. So while Yong Yee is the central character, each character shift means time wasted in getting to know them, which can be diverting in such a short novel. While Yong Hee's decisions essentially MacGuffin the story, her development as a character is pretty negligible. She's unremarkable, chooses not to eat meat, descends into madness, and, possibly the reverse of that. She descends into madness and then decides to stop eating meat. And all of this solely impacts others' impressions of her rather than actually affects her herself. It does not follow her at all, her intentions or her inner workings, only that of her families falling apart around her. While this book is not about vegetarianism per se, it's about moving away from a cultural standard, about becoming someone socially unpalatable and different from the rest. While Yong Hee appeared to be quiet, unassuming and unremarkable, her quirks such as not wearing a bra and not socializing and preferring to read all work in favor of her family and her husband. She's unbothersome. As soon as she becomes bothersome, her trajectory to social outcasts increases exponentially. Her lack of voice in her own life is exceptionally telling. The story is about alienation from husbands and fathers and family, and from the social pressure that puts us in that position. This book definitely is worth the read. It is short enough to get through comfortable, yet just long enough to be intriguing. The benefit of being 188 pages is that there was no filler and no fluffing. There hasn't been, this hasn't been bulked out just for the sake of it. In spite of the abrasive tonal shifts throughout the novel, there is nothing extra about Han King's writing, and within this is an excellently sharp point in the story. It is focused and direct. The translation is inspired and is worth the read. I hope you enjoy this review, and I hope you read the book. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy your morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you all are in the day, and I will hopefully see you all next video. Bye.